guys, welcome back to another episode of 4K Garage. In this episode, I would like to try and fit the diffuser, and if we have a bit of time, I'll probably try and have a look at the Liberty Ball ducktail. So here's the diffuser here. It kind of just lays over the top of the existing diffuser, but you do have to cut the existing diffuser out. Now, a lot of the instructions say to cut from this point all the way around and just leave a tiny lip of the original diffuser connected to the car. I think what I'm going to do is try and cut from this point here up and round, and the reason for that is, well, there's a few. One, so I can keep my exhaust blank off, and two, so I can keep the original mounting brackets for the diffuser back here, just to give this a bit more rigidity. Now, if we cut that and we find that we can't do that, then do the full cut, no big deal. It simply connects with a couple of bolts or screws at either end, and then 4 bolts in each of these holes. Now, in the long run, I would actually like to integrate the original V-light into this, rather than use the reverse light that Rocket Light provides. And of course, there's a couple of reasons for that again. One, fog light, Lee would not have a rear fog light in the UK. And two, because I like how this looks, spend a bit of money on an aftermarket one, I'd like to keep it. So it shouldn't be too difficult. What I essentially plan to do is cut out this section here, and then just glass fibre into here. Hopefully I don't make too much of a mess of it. So as you can see, I've already taken out the light. So let's crack out a Dremel and see how we go about cutting this, this plastic.
So close to where we belong, and we're trying to go somewhere new. And I try to crack this iceberg open till it shatters through the ocean. I wanna make shockwaves. I wanna make shockwaves with you. Gonna move the ocean current till the waves flood what's been burning. I wanna make shockwaves. I wanna make shockwaves with you. And I know I'm only getting higher, till it feels like I can walk through fire. And I know I'm only getting higher, till it feels like I can walk through fire.
There we go, the first cut made, and managed to retain the original brackets. Of course, being plastic, it melts as you try and cut it, so I need to tidy all this up. We're going to run a little knife along it. Let's grab the diffuser and see if it fits. Right, I can't see any major problems with that. Once you get these 4 screws in, you have to then just pull the screws to the side out, get the kind of sides to flare out a little bit, and then it's on there. And it looks like the cut I've made was good. Right, so here we are with the diffuser, and as you can see, I'm going to cut a great big hole out of it, as you can see. Here's it from the other side. The hole has to be that large because the actual rocket motor diffuser is at a different angle to the original one, so the light has to kind of stand out from the diffuser to be kind of flat and level when you're looking at it from behind the car. As you can see, if it were following the lean of the rocket motor diffuser, it would basically be facing the ground. That's why on the original piece down here, it's actually inset so it can be level when from behind the car. So here's the other piece, and I'll show you how that goes in. I'm going to have to put the camera down because it's a little bit tricky one-handed. So this is basically how it's going to go in. course it's all a little bit tight, so I just need to wiggle it about a bit, but that's it for the most part. And what I'm going to start doing is, we've got some cut-offs here, so just going to start gluing a few bits of support, just so it can hold itself in while I'm applying the fiberglass, and so it can hold its rough shape, because at the moment it's just kind of friction fit in there. But I wanted to try and get the light as flat as possible, so I may even need to make that lie a little bit flatter, but I think that's pretty good so far. Like I say, what I'll do is I'll glue in these supports, start laying some glass fiber, and then after that it's just going to be a lot of sanding, a lot of body filler, just to get all of the lines smooth and nice again, and hopefully as an end result you'll barely know it was custom. But I don't want to do that just yet, because that's quite a lot of work and it's a little bit daunting, so I'm going to have a little think about it overnight, come back to it in the morning. For now I think I'm just going to move on to the wing, have a little look at how that mounts, and go from there really. So let me show you that. So here's the Liberty Walk ducktail. Now you can tell it's Liberty Walk, we'll do a seal of approval certification. They give you a bit of paperwork and everything to tell you this is legitimate Liberty Walk, which is a bit much in my opinion. But as you can see, there is nowhere to mount it. Now I've had glass fibre wings, not too dissimilar to this, just come straight in a white gel coat. And they had a nice solid bottom with brass threads built into them. It was a fraction of the price of this, and in my opinion, a little bit better. So, I mean, looking at this, the only option really is to, there's no places for, like the Rocket Bunny kit, for bolts to go through. So the only real way to mount this is sealing it on there. Tiger seal, whatever. But I don't really want to rely on just a bit of glue and some tape. So the idea I've had in mind is, as you can see, there's a nice lip around there. I was thinking of making some plates that you could easily get the plate in there, pull against that lip with a nut, either welded or perhaps maybe I've got some carbon fibre. I could use carbon fibre with some rib nuts in it, just to pull the wing down onto the boot lid. And that just, I'd probably seal it as well. I'd like to do the same on the two extensions. The only problem with that being rather small hole there, but also there's no, when you take the wing off, there's going to be a load of holes in the boot, but there's going to be none above the lights where these go. That would imply I need to drill a hole in the body. I've already cut great big holes in the side of the car, so I don't see any reason why not. So let's see how it goes. But first what I want to do, get this wing off, test fit that, make sure it all looks good.
And we're flying so close to where we belong. And we're trying to go somewhere new. And I try to crack this iceberg open till it shatters through the ocean. I wanna make shockwaves. I wanna make shockwaves with you. Gonna move the ocean current till the waves flood what's been burning. I wanna make shockwaves. I wanna make shockwaves with you. And I know I'm only getting higher, till it feels like I can walk through fire. And I know I'm only getting higher, till it feels like I can walk through fire.
Right, so I've got the wing here, kind of just very precariously taped on with one of the extensions over there. Now it's all got a little bit of wiggle, and as you can see, there's a couple of bits where it is a little bit proud, so it obviously just needs to be shaped ever so slightly. But I think my general plan is to actually bond it onto the car, and like any other kit I'm actually going to use, along with probably some 3M tape around it. But that's kind of primary fixing. I want a mechanical backup, just in case, it ever does come loose, it gets hot in the sun, someone tries to lower the boot by grabbing the wing. And you can see that it actually does cover up all of the existing spoiler holes, which is perfect. Don't have to get those welded up. And it also means I can reuse them, because if we go in here very carefully, right, well, we can see that stays there. And what I'll do is, like I said, I'll probably behind there put a little hole through it and make a little plate on the inside of that. But coming up to the wing, you can see that unfortunately I can't use any of the middle holes. They get covered up entirely by the very back edge of the wing there, and I don't feel there would be enough material to safely bolt that down there. But I might put a blob of sealer that just comes through here. Perhaps that might work to hook it on. But more importantly, if you go to these, you can actually see that with a little bit of drilling on the underside of the wing, what I can do is I can get a metal plate made up, get a couple of captive nuts on there where I can bond to the inside of the wing, and that would just bolt it down and hold it in place. And that would be the mechanical form of holding it on. Likewise this side. But before I didn't make any holes to drill, obviously I need to clear out a little bit of material on the wing there. You can see the tape it in place, make sure I'm happy with where it sits. I haven't popped the boot lid down just yet, but that goes on, lines up pretty well. I'm really happy with how it looks in general. Should look good. It's just the look I was going for. Well, I might leave things there for now, as I said. Just have a think about things overnight, come back to it in the morning. Well guys, that's all we have time for today. Hope you enjoyed this episode once again. Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a ongoing thing, a bit of a two-parter, whatever. Need to get a few more supplies, need to keep thinking about my plan of attack for the diffuser. Need to wait on some tape for the wing, but I don't think there's a lot that's going to be done with that until me and my friend can weld up some metal plates to hold that down. So I think next episode we'll move on to start going around all the arches and the bumper, taking them off, tidying them up, shaving down little bits here and there, making those bolt holes bigger and using the proper weld nuts. So as always, stay tuned. Hope to see you on the next episode. If you enjoyed this one, do all that good YouTube stuff as always. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye for now.